This video, we're going to talk about topic 1.7, rounding. So we're going to need to know the names of these place values to be able to know how to round to the place value that they tell us to. So let's start there, that we have our units place, then the decimal, then the tenths, the hundredths, the thousandths, the 10,000ths, the 100,000ths, the millionths, the 10 millions, and so on. We're not going to get decimal places probably that are way far down there, but I'll tell you more decimal places as we need to, but this tells us to go to the hundredths place. So tenths, hundredths is right here. So I'm going to have to look at this number next to it to determine what to do with the hundredths place value. And our rules tell us that if our next value after where we want to round is 0 to 4, we round down. I'll explain what I mean by that. And if it is 5 to 9, we round up. So let's explain what I mean by round down and round up. So this number, 5.65656, so on and so forth. Let's see, there's 65, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, and another 6. That many times. So that number is somewhere between 5.65 and 5.66. So when I'm saying round down, I mean that this number is closer to the number on the bottom here, 5.65. And if I say we're going to round up, I mean that this number is closer to 5.66. And we're going to round up. And these are our rounding rules. So we're going to look at this. We want to round to the second place value. So we're going to look at the third place value here after the decimal. That 6 is 5 or bigger. So we're going to round up to 5.66. I'm not going to go through and explain all that every time, but I just wanted to explain that if it's been a while since you've heard what rounding is, or you needed a full explanation again, what we meant when we say round down and why we're saying we're going down to the place, the number that's smaller, that is to the hundredths place, or we round up to the number that's bigger, that's to the hundredths place. That's what we mean when we say round down, round up. All right, so now let's look at 7.3939, and we want to round it to the tenths place, which is the first number after the decimal point. We're going to use the second number after the decimal point to help us round. That 9 is 5 or bigger, so we're going to round up, and that 3 is going to become a 4, and it's going to be like that. Now we want to round 6.72222 to the tenths place. There's the tenths place. We're going to look at the hundredths place to decide what to do. That 2 is less than 5, so we're going to round down. So we don't do anything to the tenths place. We leave it as a 7, and we get 6.7. Okay, now number 4 tells us to round down to the tenths place. It doesn't tell us to use regular rounding rules. It tells us to round down. So we want to round down to 8.8. Even though it's closer to 8.9, we're going to use different rounding rules here that tell us to round down, because it was in the instructions right there. So sometimes we always want to round down. If we're not to the next amount yet, we don't want to round up. That's something that we do sometimes. All right, now let's round down to the hundredths place. So tenths, hundredths, and we want to ignore everything after the hundredths place, 4.56. Let's round down to the tens place. Let's ignore everything after the tens place. Let's drop all those digits. And this is 0.1. All right, so that's everything. So we'll come back next time and talk about topic 1.8. I'll see you for the next video.